Welcome to episode 26 of Star Wars Culture Live, a fairly new podcast focusing on Star Wars excitement and connection, your escape pod for hyperspace buzz and fandom fixes. As always, I am Ian, and this is Marty. Say hi, Marty.
Hello.
And this is where the fun begins. Instead of the negativity you often find on the Star Wars side of the internet, we want to talk about the things we love about Star Wars, how it enriches our lives, the community, culture, fans, media, anything at all. So throughout the show, as always, if you have anything for us, reactions, questions, requests, suggestions for future segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. And don't forget to check us out on all the socials. We are at SW Culture Live almost everywhere. Facebook's weird, but if you're seeing us on Facebook, then you know where we are. A couple announcements. One announcement really about the next 3 weeks. We are 4 weeks, 3 or 4. The next 3 or 4 weeks, we are going to. Our episodes are going to be a little different. They're going to be pre-recorded, so we won't be able to interact with you live. I'm really sorry, but I will be traveling for work, and we have to. I will not be available Wednesday evenings, just because of the nature of my job, and so we'll have to pre-record the episodes. We will still air them on Wednesday, possibly Wednesday morning, so you can just watch them whenever you want throughout the day, but they'll be kind of shorter, and we'll go through news and whatever our discussion is for that week, so don't expect a live show the next 4 Wednesdays, because that won't be the case. But we didn't forget about you. We still love you. We're still here. We're just not exactly where we usually are. But anyway, so that's all for the announcements. As always, we like to start with host facts about ourselves. And so Marty, give me a fun fact. It's to help you get to know us a little bit better each episode. Episode 26. We're running out of fun facts, but a lot of it's just like, what did you do this weekend, or things like that. But anyway, host facts. Marty, what you got?
All right, so I was kind of jumping back between two of them. I'll save the other one for next week or next time, but I'll just go ahead and do this one. The intro that we have for our show was actually a repurposed intro that was supposed to be for another podcast that I was working on for Tractor Beam on the Star Wars Underworld Network. It's a little different. They actually had a little tractor beam from the Death Star and everything like that. Except I got rid of that, and I made our logo kind of fizzle in like the Genndy Tartakovsky logo blurb just for this.
Yeah.
So it's like I gotta use this. I love the background. It's got to be used. How do I use this?
I was about to say it looks kind of like it. I get tractor beam vibes from it. Yeah, that's cool. At first, when you started saying the intro to our show, I thought you meant like the intro that I say.
Oh no!
Sorry, like, welcome to Star Wars Culture Live. No, so I was like, you were like, it was originally for another podcast, and I was like, no, it wasn't. I was not on another podcast.
No, this video. Yeah, so they actually wanted something different, so I just repurposed it and tooled it for us.
Love it. I love it. That's way better than anything. I am not a graphic designer at all. That was way cooler than anything I was imagining. So thank you for your work on that. My fun fact, I have 2 mini fun facts. Fun fact number 1, usually this second blade of the double lightsaber is on. I charged it all day. I plugged it in all day, but apparently something was not plugged in correctly or something. I really hope it's not broken. It's like my most expensive one. But that's supposed to be on. Number 2 is my stepdaughter is now making bracelets. So she made me a bracelet, black and red and white, that makes it matches the colors of the 501st Legion logo. That's what she requested, or what she asked me what colors I wanted, and that's what I requested, and she made it for me, and now I'm wearing it forever.
I'm glad you said it was red because it looks orange on my camera.
Oh yeah, no, it might be this. My skin looks green. I don't know. I need to fix some sort of lighting issue because I look very weird. The colors are off. Maybe it's the ring light or something. But I'll figure it out. No, it's black and red and white. It's very
nice.
Whatever. Cool. Anyway, that's host facts. So why don't we get into the HoloNet news? Every week I like to give a little plug to Star Wars Underworld. That's where I get my Star Wars news, and I recommend that you get your Star Wars news there as well. They got all kinds of updates about things. A lot of Celebration panel news this week. You'll see. First up, image and synopsis for an upcoming Star Wars Vision short entitled Black has been revealed. A psychedelic battle between past and present, light and dark, life and death rages in the tormented psyche of an Imperial soldier near defeat. That animation style looks really cool. Very, I don't want to say minimalist, but like, I don't know what the very hand drawn.
I'll say it's like kind of a minimalist drawing here.
Yeah, right. Cool, okay. Yeah, I like it. I'm into it. I love Visions. I love how every time there's something new and exciting, you have no idea what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
We got official Andor season 2 synopsis revealed. I am going to read this one because I am just so excited about it. Emmy-nominated thriller Andor returns for its long-awaited conclusion on April 22nd. The second season takes place as the horizon of war draws near and Cassian becomes a key player in the Rebel Alliance. Everyone will be tested, and as the stakes rise, the betrayals, sacrifices, and conflicting agendas will become profound. Rife with political intrigue and danger, the series is a prequel to Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which portrayed a heroic band of rebels who steal the plans to the Empire's weapon of mass destruction, the Death Star, setting the stage for the events of the original 1977 film. Andor sets the clock back 5 years from the events of Rogue One to tell the story of the film's hero, Cassian Andor, and his transformation from disinterested, cynical nobody into a rebel hero on his way to an epic destiny. End synopsis. Yeah, that was so that's it's getting closer. I am more and more excited every day that Andor's coming up. Season 2, more Andor news. Season 2 will have a primetime premiere. I am not happy about this. 9 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, April 22nd. They are releasing 3 episodes at once. They're like 3 groups of 3 episodes. 4 groups? 3 groups?
See, there's 12 episodes total.
4 groups. Okay. So
I think 4 groups.
They're releasing the episodes in groups of 3, and they're releasing them 3 Andor episodes, which are long episodes, at 9 p.m. Eastern on a Tuesday night. That is my one beef with this. I need to go to work. I'm not trying to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning watching this. I love it. I want to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning. So I guess what I'm mad about is that you're going to make me like exhausted for work. Disney, just make it earlier. I'm not gonna see spoil. If you just move it up like 3 hours, put it at like 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'm not gonna check. I just won't check Facebook or anything for spoilers between what's it called between then and when I see it after dinner. Just put it. Do that for me.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like when Disney Plus started out with every episode, it actually released midnight of that day.
Yeah, so, it was like midnight, like of the day. Yeah, like Wednesday, like between Tuesday and Wednesday, midnight, right?
Yeah. It just, to me, it made sense. Or so that way you have it all out there. You can watch it any time of the day. You don't got to stay up late like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You could watch it whenever you're free throughout the day. And then if you're not free till like 6 or 7 or 8, then just avoid Facebook that day, which is very reasonable. Or wherever you get your news. So I'm on Facebook. Anyway, Tuesday, April 22nd, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm jealous of you West Coast friends. What else? This is start with quote. Anthony Daniels revealed his top 5 John Williams tracks to Star Wars Insider. Number 5 is Duel of the Fates, obvious classic Jabba's Baroque recital from Return of the Jedi. I imagine that's from his palace. Flag parade from the Phantom Menace. That's from before the pod race, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ewok feast, part of the tribe from Return of the Jedi. Part of the tribe. That makes me think it's the part. It's not at the end. The Yub Nub. It's the one in the middle, right? When they're accepted into the Ewok tribe.
I think so.
And then Rey's theme from The Force Awakens. Didn't expect that. That's cool.
Yeah, that one is interesting.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Alan Tudyk. That was 2 days ago. I didn't know this. Tom Cruise helped cast John Boyega in Star Wars. He said a quote from John Boyega: "I'm thankful to Tom Cruise, who loved Attack the Block," which John Boyega was on. He was editing Mission Impossible at the time with J.J. Abrams, and Tom told J.J., "You got to watch this kid in Attack the Block." And J.J. watched it, and one thing led to another, and 4 or 5 years later, I was in The Force Awakens. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Thank you for that.
That's pretty cool. Thank you, Tom.
This is a good one. Saber Interactive, the developer behind the long-awaited KOTOR remake, is now saying that everything, this is a quote, everything we have talked about is still in development, furthering hope that the game will eventually be released. So there's one comment on this. It's been 84 years.
You think we'll still get this before GTA 6?
No, we're not getting it before GTA 6. I don't think so. I know that's another one that we're waiting forever, but GTA 6 is gonna. That's where I'm placing my bets. If I were a betting man. We're trying very rigorously to be more serious about this SHIT than anybody ever has been. Tony Gilroy, while discussing his approach to Star Wars with Gizmodo. Congratulations to the creators behind Young Jedi Adventures for winning the award for outstanding sound mixing and sound editing for a preschool animated program. What a category. Outstanding sound mixing and sound editing for a preschool animated program at the Children's and Family Emmys. So awesome. It won a few different awards, right?
Yeah. I actually watched that show, to be honest with you, and I'm not afraid to admit it. It's a good show for, I'm sure little kids will like it. I like it because it's Star Wars. I don't know. I just feel like I just need to absorb everything Star Wars, and it's High Republic era. So.
Yep, it is cool. I do like seeing the different Jedi uniforms in this.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, it's High Republic, so it's not like the standard like tan, brown. They got some gold and all kinds of stuff. I wish my toddler liked it.
Sabers.
Say it again.
And you get yellow lightsabers.
Yes. Also that. I turned it on for my toddler. I'm always like, "Do you want to watch the Jedi show?" And very rarely she's like, "Yeah, Jedi show." Like usually in the morning when she's groggy, but normally she's like, "No, Miss Rachel." Which is fair. Miss Rachel's a goddess. Congratulations. Oh, I already did that. Manny Jacinto takes the stage at Toronto Comic-Con. That's awesome. Okay, so the next, we're just gonna go rapid fire through all these announcements. The panels and schedule and things came out for Star Wars Celebration, so I'm just gonna go rapid fire through all these. The Star Wars Rebels series finale will be screened on Sunday, April 20th. 2:15, Twin Sun Stage. Alan Tudyk, Ahmed Best, and Anthony Daniels will be joining forces for the Heroic Sidekicks of Star Wars panel on Sunday, April 20th, 1 to 2 p.m. Celebration stage. Tamara Morrison and Daniel Logan will be on stage together for the Fett Family panel. That's awesome. Star Wars Celebration, Sunday, April 20th, 1 p.m. on the Twin Sun Stage. Mandoverse behind the scenes panel has been announced Sunday, April 20th at noon on the Galaxy stage. The Bit Reactor developer panel is happening Saturday, April 19th, 4:30 on the Galaxy stage. Bit Reactor, along with Respawn Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games, promises a first look at a new Star Wars turn-based tactics game. So I don't know if I will be able to. It seems like a Baldur's Gate type deal.
I was thinking more Command and Conquer at this point.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's probably more accurate.
I guess we'll have to see. It depends on if they want to go the Baldur's Gate route, where it's more developed on the characters.
Yeah,
or the whole war aspect of it.
yeah. It does say turn-based tactics game, so that might be bigger picture. I don't know, turn-based. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I look forward to hearing the news about that. Man, news is gonna be rapid fire that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta stay on top of it. If it's, I probably won't be able to play that one unless there's little blitzes that you can do in like 20 or 30 minutes at a time. But I look forward to everybody who does like those kind of games. The Siege of Mandalore will be screened Saturday, April 19th, 3:30 at the Celebration stage. A Conversation with Oscar Isaac is a panel happening Saturday, April 19th at 2:45 on the Galaxy stage. Panel celebrating the 20th anniversary of Lucasfilm Animation, featuring Dave Filoni and Athena Portillo. Athena is happening at Star Wars Celebration. No time or stage for that one. But via Star Wars on Instagram or on YouTube, there will be an official Celebration live stream. So just like last year, there will be a live stream on YouTube to keep you up to date with the latest stuff. And those were some of the highlights, but the full panel schedule for Star Wars Celebration has now been revealed. So I'm sure that's on the Star Wars website. You can definitely check that out. So fun, exciting news there. I am excited. I obviously am not going to be at Celebration. I will be on a work trip, not in Japan, but I am excited for that weekend to see just wake up and see all the new headlines that are out. I don't even know where I'm gonna, like, there's gonna be so much. I don't know how to keep track of it all. I'll just see the top, I don't know, the most exciting ones and then catch up. All right, so let's move on to our little fun segments here on this day in Star Wars history. Go, Marty.
All right, today, March 19th, 1989, Return of the Jedi makes its network premiere on NBC, earning a 15.1 rating.
So talk to me about ratings, because I have no idea what that means.
Your guess is as good as mine. I used to know about ratings, and then I think it's a good rating. I think that's a good rating on television. I got to double check, but I would assume so, considering it being Star Wars.
I imagine. Yeah, if any viewers here were watching TV in the late 1980s and know what that means, please feel free to comment and let us know. I imagine these were massively popular films by the time Return of the Jedi even came out, and this is 6 years after that. So I imagine they were anxiously waiting, and then the rating, I doubt it's 15 out of 100 or anything like that. I'm sure it's
no.
Maybe it's out of 10 and they just blew everybody's mind.
Oh yeah, maybe. But I'm surprised out of all the networks, it was NBC that got it first. I don't know why. That just surprises me.
Yeah, my dad had recordings on VHS of like things he had taped off of TV of all three movies. I remember we had to fast forward through the commercials and rewind it and all that. But I don't remember what network it was on. It must have been mid 90s or something.
Right.
Because I don't.
And now
I guess it could have been earlier if he taped it I guess it could have been earlier. Yeah. Now we don't. I mean, they're on everything.
And if they do happen to be on television, TNT actually has the rights to it.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
It
used to be Spike TV, but now TNT does it every year. They have during the summer or fall, one of those times. Let's see. Believe it or not, when I had my surgery to remove half my thyroid, I was in a hospital room, and Star Wars was on TNT. So I was watching Star Wars, recovering in the hospital.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's good timing right there. I didn't want to. I was about to be like, "Wow, you're so lucky." Surgery, not lucky, but I guess it could have been a little bit worse if Star Wars wasn't on TV at the time.
Oh yeah, that'd have been more less enjoyable.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing it. We stay in hotels on these work trips, and I remember seeing Star Wars marathons a lot and Law and Order SVU marathons a lot. And the Star Wars marathons, I thought, yeah, I definitely remember them on Spike, but I guess now TNT has the rights, so that's cool. Gotta find most of the time there's a channel guide in the room, but sometimes there's not. You just have to scroll through these weird numbers, and it's exhausting. Oh, on to the dad joke of the week. I'm not gonna lie, this isn't good. This is not a good one, and I'm so sorry. What do you call a Jedi with 4 eyes? Jedi.
Okay.
I warned you.
I mean, it was still pretty good. I was expecting it, but it still made me chuckle.
It's I guess it's not as good when you see it written down because I had to spell out eyes, otherwise you'd know what was gonna happen. So it's more of a tell it out loud joke.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, we're just gonna skate on past that. So we are returning to a segment this week of that we used to do. We used to do a top 3 segment, and then we ran out of ideas for top 3 because we did top 3 Jedi, top 3 moments from the series, top 3, I don't know, ships. We did a lot of top 3, like the first 10 or 15 episodes. So we kind of got away from it. Over. Yeah, Skeleton Crew. Yeah, took over, and then after that, we just sort of did other things. But we're going back to it today, and we're gonna go top 3 droids. We have not done droids yet. I was surprised to figure that out, but we haven't done top 3 droids. So we're gonna name our top 3 favorite droids, and we're gonna start with Marty. So Marty, 3rd place for you. It's this guy, right?
Yes, that is that guy. For people just listening, it is AZI3, or AZ, as a lot of people in the Clone Wars like to call him. He is a medical droid found on Kamino. Most likely, he's best known for the arc with Fives about discovering the inhibitor chips in all the clones' heads.
Fun fact, I'm pretty sure that this photo is this screen cap I found is from that arc because I know
it
he's
is. Yeah, he's talking to Fives right there about it. But yeah, I like this droid because he's kind of funny. I mean, he takes things a little seriously, but he's kind of funny in some of the scenes. He makes a great flotation device, and he turns into a little motorcycle. Like a hover bike.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's so if you get injured, get AZ. You need a lift, get AZ.
Yep. That's awesome. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, he's kind of serious, but he's got a serious job, and it's serious times, but he's always there for a tiny bit of sass if that's what's needed.
Yeah, he's dedicated too. Like he'll help. He helped Fives all the way. And and I think it was Omega too that he was helping.
Yep, he's on the as much on the good side as a droid can be, even when surrounded by people trying to make him do bad or not be doing the right thing. He's loyal. He's a good robot.
He sure is.
My number 3 is IG. This is IG-11. I also IG-88. I just like all the IG bounty hunters. This scene in particular, when he is just a killing machine. They referenced you first see IG-88 in Empire Strikes Back. You see him, one of the bounty hunters that Vader is hiring to find Han and Luke and Leia. But they you don't really see him in action, but they mention that Mando mentions that he's lethal, that these types of droids are lethal. And then you see him in action just against so many enemies with all this precision. And you see him a little bit in Clone Wars too. They have a couple episodes where they tangle with some of these, and you kind of see it there too, and they're virtually indestructible, but they can take some hits, and they're so thin, like such a small target. And the idea that you're gonna get a lethal hit on him before he gets hit on you somehow is just highly unlikely. Mando needed both Beskar and plot armor to survive that.
Yeah, if IG-11 was this lethal in this episode, imagine, IG-88 is supposed to be a more popular IG droid. Imagine the damage he could do.
Oh yeah, once he's like got his own and he's not trying to protect anyone. He's just unleashed. Like, I doubt he takes anybody alive. He's probably the guy you hire.
Oh yeah.
And I do like the little arc. A little bonus for IG-11 for me is how he becomes a babysitter. The whole being controlled by Grogu, whatever. That's not a plus of the droid. But when he's in babysitter mode after Uli, what's his name? What's the Ugnaughts name? After the
I had it.
I know. After the lovable Ugnaught. Queel. Yes. Okay. After Queel gets what did I say? Uli? What am I doing? Hey, some of those letters are the same. But after he turns him into a babysitter and he's protecting the child in a backpack, that's pretty fun. I bought that skin on Fortnite. Is how much I like it. So on to Marty's second, and I have never heard of this droid, but take it away.
Okay, so this is Mr. Bones. He is a repurposed B1 battle droid created by Temmin Snap Wexley during the Star Wars Aftermath trilogy novels.
Paint a word picture for our listeners. What's he look like?
He looks like a typical B1 battle droid with some upgrades, such as a blade hand on his right hand. He's got bones kind of attached to his shoulders and head.
They're just tied on there.
He's got a scope on his right eye, and he's covered in red with black outlines to look like a skeleton. If you want to think about it, he kind of looks like Deadpool a little bit.
Yeah, that's all I'm seeing really. He's a B1 battle droid, but he's painted red and black like Deadpool, and he's got a spike on his right arm. It's just like his hand is a blade, like a fencing blade. It's long and sharp, and then he's got like bones like tied to his shoulders and his head. It looks goofy but deadly.
And he when he talks, he acts like a child. He's like, must kill them. I'll kill for you. I'll protect you and I'll kill them for you. And then it just goes, he does it very gruesomely.
God,
he's a hilarious droid.
That's awesome. That sounds like a potential D&D character that I should think about.
It does.
D&D NPC in a Star Wars game. All right. So second place, Mr. Bones. Where does he appear again?
The Aftermath trilogy by Chuck Wendig.
Okay. Aftermath trilogy. All right. Mr. Bones was your second place. My second place is L337 from Solo. This is Lando's droid, co-pilot droid that flies the Falcon with him, and her navigation database actually ends up as part of the Millennium Falcon at the end of the movie, which makes the Millennium Falcon so good at navigating and smuggling without being caught by the Empire in later years. But I thought that I know droids are there are certain droids that are sassy. R2 is sassy. Chopper is sassy. L3 I thought was the sassiest droid I've ever seen in my life. She had so many one-liners. She gave Lando so much shit. It was so funny. Every single line. And they sold me on a romantic / emotional connection between Lando and this droid. They sold me on that. I did not go into the movie wanting to see that. I think I would be actively opposed to that if someone asked me, but they sold it to me in the movie. I believed that it was complicated. And then of course she's all hyper activist about how droids are treated, and that's of course admirable, and that gets me on their side immediately, and now I start to have to think about how I think about droids in the future, like what would L3 want. So I think I would be nice to droids. I think if I had a droid, I'd be nice. I think that's how I would treat them. Yeah, you don't treat them like a jerk.
No.
But she was a badass and started a freaking revolution on Kessel. Not a small thing. She got them out of some tight jams. And yeah, L3. I think the sass and the one-liners is what gets me the most.
Yeah, she was going to be in my top 3, but I was like, the people that I picked were just slightly better in my opinion. But she was very close to making the list.
And mine are all kind of like, I don't know, mainstream canon stuff, and yours are definitely more obscure. Like yours are definitely more. It's good to have a mix of my boring, everybody knows who they are picks, and your like look at this guy. Look at this. I was not going to know to pick that guy. So that's my second place. On to Marty's first place.
All right, so everyone might actually know this one, so he might be the only mainstream one, and it is BD1. He is a small little biped droid who's just so darn cute. He's like a little puppy.
Look at him. And he's so helpful.
He's so helpful.
He's from for our listeners, he's the little one from Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, he's definitely that little droid. Everyone listening, if you don't know what he looks like I said, he's a biped droid, small. I would say maybe 1.5 feet tall, if that, maybe 2 feet. Head kind of shaped like binoculars, which is kind of ironic because in Jedi Survivor you actually get to use him as binoculars.
I did not know that. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And he comes with a stim pack. What am I? Fallout? He comes with a
like a med pack. What do you even call it?
Little back to stems. There you go. Back to stems.
Stems could also be held under too. Just saying.
Yeah.
For liberty.
So if you don't have AZ around, BD will definitely be your guy to help heal you in time of need. He'll also be your guy that will help you zipline. I never thought I need someone to help zipline, but if I need someone, I got BD1.
Yeah, I don't see R2 doing that. Just saying.
He'll help you sneak into the facilities. He's got those lock picks, so I'll call them.
Nice. Good. Yes, a worthy choice. I agree with your choice there, BD1. For my first place, I think this is a lot of people's first place, but I had to go with Chopper. Like I said, sass is a big thing for me, and I don't know if there's a more angsty, sassy droid than Chopper. He also shows no hesitation in extreme violence toward the Empire. Like he is the most rebellious type of rebel. He's down to steal things. He's down to hurt people. He's down to he jokes that he'll just abandon his teammates and let them die or whatever. But he wouldn't do that, especially not Hera and Kanan. He's very loyal, and Sabine, and I guess Ezra by the end, and Zeb. But his bonding moments with every character, the strongest ones are when that character is making fun of someone else, and Chopper just gets in there and does it. And Fun fact, I believe due to his actions, technically speaking, his kill count is in like the tens of thousands over the course of Star Wars Rebels. It's like a startling fact.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was like, he's got a startling high body count on him.
Yeah, he is unassuming, and he hates when they do it, but they just paint him like an Imperial droid sometimes, and he'll just go undercover, and it's just it's great. Yeah, I want him on my side. I want him on my team if I'm on a mission. R2's great. R2 I feel like is held back by his moral compass.
Yeah.
I want a droid that can be unleashed.
I heard a comparison between Chopper and R2. It's like R2 is like that loyal dog. You give him a command, he'll do it. Chopper is the sassy cat that you gotta, kind of encourage to get him to do something.
Yeah, I would say R2 is chaotic neutral, or chaotic good. Maybe just neutral good, chaotic good. I would say Chopper is a straight chaotic evil, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil maybe. And that's just the vibe that I want and I find fun to watch. So Chopper took my top number one. Just a quick recap: our first place. So my top three were Chopper, L3, and the IG series. And Marty's were BD1 and Mr. Bones. I guess he's painted like a skeleton. I guess that's kind of why.
Yeah,
that makes sense. And then AZ3, AZ1.
mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
They say AZ3, but it's like AZI3, but no one uses the I, so it's just AZ3.
They just call him AZ, like that's his name.
Yeah,
like
AZI
just spells out AZ. All right, so that was our top three. We're gonna get into a little discussion now. Not a half-hour one. I am saying that for myself too. Not a half-hour one. But we're gonna get into a little discussion now about. You know what? I keep thinking of it in weird terms. So why don't you explain it?
Okay, so today's discussion is the Reign of the Empire and Age of Rebellion eras overused in Star Wars canon today. And I always say this because I was thinking about all this merchandise, all these books, all these video games, and really anything. And I feel like the people you see the most are the Rebels and the Empire.
Okay.
You got so Luke and the gang versus Vader and all of them. You don't see a whole lot of other people. You don't see. I feel like now they're starting to slowly build the Clone Wars stuff back up, the prequel era stuff. The sequel era kind of had a hit a brick wall for a while, but it seems like they're finally starting to come back with some things. And then you got the High Republic initiative. They're making a good, successful run. Not just books, but you got their. I'm going to include the Acolyte TV series, their novels coming out, and the Young Jedi Adventures. That's actually High Republic right there. So I mean, they're starting to get their foot in every door possible. The only thing we're missing is that video game that's still in development hell. So who knows when we'll see that? No, there's actually another one that's set during the High Republic from the company Quantum Dreams. They created the game Detroit Being Human.
Huh.
It's a French company. Okay. But it's been in developmental hell for 4 or 5 years now.
Gross.
And it's basically due to the president of a company was being kind of a sleaze bag, so that kind of put things on hold.
Yeah, that'll do that.
Especially, I think because it was right around that Me Too movement. So that'll definitely put
bag.
Yeah, that kind of douchebag.
You know who would stand up to that person is L3. Just saying.
Yes.
Just
one whack.
Yeah. And you're knocked out. Okay, so I do want to start. All right, so can you establish the exact era we're talking about? Is this like from the end of
Order anything 66? That deals with the Empire, Rebel Alliance, and I'll put it maybe up close to the Mandoverse, just because they deal with the Imperial remnants of things.
Yeah, the leftovers, but not like
the leftovers.
That's still prequel.
That's
prequel enough.
That's prequel enough, but it's not enough to be in that era because they're still setting up that Imperial government.
Right.
Switching over from clones to TK stormtroopers.
Yeah, I was about to say it takes a while for that armor to even appear.
I think I froze.
You were froze for a while you were talking, but I see you moving now.
Okay, that was weird because I froze too for a second.
Yeah, no, I see you moving now, so you should be fine. What was I going to say? Yeah, I remember the episode of Bad Batch. It was the one where Crosshair finally finds his place, and he betrays his Imperial overlords, and they're on that base, and they find the TK armor. Okay, so I guess the first thing that came to my mind was definitely the sequel trilogy era is underused. Like, I could use so much more from there. I have not read many things, and I haven't seen Star Wars Resistance. I'm sorry, it's not on purpose. I just haven't. I'll watch it sometime. But there's just that in the movies, right? There's not much else. There's
a few, like a handful of novels, adult and young adults, but not enough compared to everybody else.
Yeah, I definitely need more of that, and I'm sure. I'm not sure, I guess, but I wonder if all the toxic Rey haters are discouraging the makers, the creators from doing. Oops, wrong way. From doing projects like that. I just wonder if that's part of it. We got a comment. If you two would like input from an Imperial point of view, would be happy to help. Yeah, what do you think? We'll get to it in a little bit, but do you think the Imperial era? I know you're a little biased, Imperial activity, but if you, what do you think about the balance of media that comes from this era, like with the Empire, or versus other eras?
I feel like we're going on almost. Well, we're on 11 years now. The first thing that popped up, official Disney canon, was 2014. So we're 11 years now, and I just feel like, and I have nothing against this era. I have nothing against it. Okay, I just feel like we're kind of beating it over and over again. Like, there's so many stories you could tell with the Empire and Rebellion. Yes. But you got all these other eras that need attention as well, like especially for people who are the millennial Gen Z and now starting Gen Alpha people. So let's tell more stories there. Like, we've had what's the first television show that came out during the Disney era? Star Wars Rebels. Imperial era. The first novel, Empire, set during the Imperial era. It was actually a prequel to Star Wars Rebels, New Dawn.
Right. I think it makes. I think it makes sense for them to start there, because you want, especially with a big sale like that, if people are mad about it or nervous about it, you definitely want some continuity and some, like, throwing them a bone. Like, hey, the Star Wars is not going anywhere. Here's some cool stuff from the Star Wars that you have known and loved for 30 years.
I definitely could see that. I definitely see, like, especially you want people that are weird to get on board still, but you also have to think about general mass audience. They're more familiar with that era of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But you got to throw a bone to us people who've been here a while that, grew up with the prequel era. You should have thrown us a bone a little bit too, instead of waiting years and years. Like, I'm still waiting on a prequel era video game. I mean, all the video games that have been released have been set during the Imperial era. And yeah, sure, Battlefront 2 has the Clone Wars stuff, but that was kind of more like sorry about that. But the story takes place during the end of the Empire, and luckily, right into the
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which now they're trying to cool story, but you're right.
Yeah. And they're still trying to sprinkle in now some of the games with a little bit of prequel stuff, especially the Jedi Fallen Order Survivor games. They sprinkle in some Clone War stuff every now and then, just to make sure it's like, yeah, we're still trying to tie that Cal was a Jedi during this time.
Yeah.
But I want a game that's,
like you said, like they're already in the TK armor, so it's a little bit later.
Yeah. I want a game that's
my lightsaber
right there at the. That sucks. It looks pretty cool,
blue
though.
One though. Yeah, it looks cool. All right.
Your face don't look green.
It doesn't look green, but it looks oversaturated. The lighting is perfect when I have 2 red and 1 blue. It's like the perfect mix of purple, and it works perfectly. But I don't know what happened with the freaking charger. Yeah. So the games, yeah, like you said, most video games do take place there. Yeah, there's not, other than Battlefront, I don't know of a single Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Is that Jango Fett?
Oh, see, that's also a remake from the Legends era. So they're throwing stuff out that are older, being remastered. But what's a canon game?
Oh, canon? No, not a canon game. I was about to say Jedi Power Battles is episode 1. It's not a canon game. But yeah, like you said, remastered. I heard Mask of Fear was mentioned. That story takes place in the months when the Empire rose. The only other story that time we have is the Bad Batch.
I won't be too judgy on those, just because, I mean, if it is right there around that time of Bad Batch, I'm not going to include that because it's still like a transitional period. You're not getting full TK Empire stuff. You're still got a little bit of clones to deal with.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I think every time that they attempt to when exactly was, I mean, there were X-Wing. It's New Republic, like this. Sorry, I'm talking about Skeleton Crew was also like Mandoverse similar, right? Mandoverse adjacent.
Yeah, it took place. It takes place around the same time as Mando. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I just have to keep coming back to every time that they step too far for mainstream media. Every time that they step too far in either direction away from the Rebel and Empire conflict, they get just horrible toxicity everywhere. And I don't know if that affects the numbers. Like I at this point, I'm sure the sequels, like I don't follow numbers or anything like that at all, but like that was some of the most vicious hate that the fandom had ever displayed. And same with the Acolyte.
Mm-hmm. And look at that show, though. That actually happened to be a high-rated show.
What, the Acolyte?
Yeah.
It doesn't. The actual quality of the show doesn't matter to a lot of these horrible people on the internet, of which we are two of them, just not horrible. But the actual quality doesn't matter. It's just like 2 for 2 now. They said, hey, we're going far into the future, like years and years and years after the Empire Rebel conflict. And yes, we have 1,000 references to connect to that and the story. We even have all 3 of the main actors show up, plus Lando in the thing. Oh, and Chewie, by the way, he's still here. We have plenty of connections. Millennium Falcon, I could go on, whatever. We have plenty of connections, but it's still, people still are really, really loud in their hate. And then they're like, all right, we're going to go years and years beforehand. High Republic. You know the High Republic. You've read comics about the High Republic. You have heard legends of the High Republic. We're going to make a canon show about the High Republic era. Hate, vicious hate everywhere. Internet. Mean. Loud. And unfortunately, these people have following somehow. And I wonder if that has something to do with it.
I mean, that show was bombarded and hated before it even came out just because of who Leslie Headland is.
Yep. Like the sheer number of reviews on that show before it came out were like way more before it came out than the total reviews on like Skeleton Crew. Like afterward.
And I'm surprised though Disney didn't take those into consideration. Like, well, these people are just badly hating it before the show even came out. Let's actually let the show come out. Let the actual fans and reviewers have a say. But it seems like with those pre-hated reviews, that shot down that show for having the second season. We're not going to get another season of something that's not Imperial related.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely have also heard that there was a lot that came out like you had Obi-Wan Kenobi show coming out at the same time as Bad Batch, and they were these articles came out similar to our topic tonight that were like, hey, are they focusing on the era between the prequels and the originals too much? And it was like, yeah, kind of, but I think it's mostly because in that instance, it was because 2 of the mainstream canon media coming out were on that era at the same time. But
well,
I'm not sure.
I mean, the Obi-Wan show. Sorry, I was going to say the Obi-Wan show was kind of hitting both targets there of prequel audience and the original trilogy audience because it was set 10 years before A New Hope. It had TK troopers. It was all Imperial based. You had Darth Vader. But at least then you have the people who appreciate and love the prequels watching this because of Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen.
Mm-hmm.
And then the flashbacks to their Jedi master and apprentice relationship.
Yep. And even, like you said, even just their presence, like seeing Ewan McGregor on screen was just magical. I started watching that again recently, but then I needed to switch to Andor.
Yeah, I need to get on the Andor train here before it starts season 2.
Yeah, you got a little bit of time.
A little bit of
time. Yeah. Final thoughts. What do you think? I think yes, but I think it is overused and it's a little oversaturated, but I don't think it's just. I think it's just kind of accidental. I think it's just like, hey, we want to tell this story, this character's story, and it happens to be in this era. Or and I think, but I do think there is a little bit of a factor of we we pushed. We tried to push a little. We tried to push further back. We tried to push further forward, and the audience wasn't having it. I'm watching this documentary on Disney Plus right now about the making of Frozen 2 and all these like pre-screenings that they do, like with audience members. I guess it's just one or two, but they like the relationship with the audience beforehand is a bigger factor than I thought. Like, it's not just they make the thing and then they put it out. They like have a screening with people who don't know what they're about to see. And then while they're in the theater, they find out, oh, this is the sequel to Frozen. And then they freak out. They're like, oh, I'm excited. And then, but they have people in there like listening to reactions, writing down like what got the most laughs, like if people got lost, I don't know. And there's surveys after and stuff. And so I underestimated the relationship, how soon the relationship with the audience impacts a thing like this. So I wonder if that's the same with these Star Wars things, and I wonder if that impacts how hard they're going to go, as I said, too far early or too far late. So I think that's those two things. I think it's accidental that, hey, they know this, we know we want to do this story, and it happens to take place in this era. And then also less secure, less confidently, I want to say, I wonder if the fan response in either of the two directions away from this era has anything to do with it.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. Also, it's probably accidental, like you said, but I feel like now, with more confidence that I feel like Disney and Lucasfilm have been having here lately, they could start maybe pushing something else out that's not that era, because we're about to lose a lot of, like stories you can tell with your legacy characters, like especially, oh, you're dark.
Yep.
You're about to lose a lot of story with your time with your legacy characters, because you can only do so much with Luke, Han, and Leia, and Darth Vader, and all that. And they really squeezed in between Empire and Jedi some stories there. They really had to squeeze it, though.
Yeah.
But now I feel like it's time for everybody else to kind of shine a little bit more in the fan base.
Can Marty see the chat on his end? Yeah, I'm getting to your comments. I got you. I like this one. I have a topic. I, for one, would like to hear both of your thoughts on fan expectations. When what we're given, some then say they didn't tell me the story I wanted. I love that. I think we should talk about that next.
I think we should talk about that next. Finally, a topic someone wants us to.
Yeah, this is the first request for a topic to talk about. Yeah, we'll talk about that next time. I have examples. So yeah. Next time, remember, will not be a live show, but we'll post it probably Wednesday. We'll find a time to record. I don't know. We'll need 20 or 30 minutes sometime. But for now, let's move on to our last segment of the evening, Star Wars trivia. Ow. I need to turn the light on. This is freaking out.
All right, so today's Star Wars trivia challenge will have to do with, believe it or not, the timeline of the original trilogy / before, like a little before, a little bit after. Who would have guessed? It's a one shot. Shouldn't be too hard, I would say. Maybe if you know your timelines. But the Battle of Jakku took place in what year? Was it A, 5 BBY, B, supposed to say 3 BBY. I don't know what happened there.
A lot
C,
of B's there, Marty.
A lot of B's. C, 2 BBY. Or D, actually, these are all wrong. I don't know why it said it that way. I'm supposed to say after Battle of ABY. I don't know what happened there. my typing here. So it's supposed to say A. It's supposed to say A 5 ABY, B 3 ABY, C 2 ABY, or D 4 ABY.
So they're all
not BBY.
After.
They're all after. They're all after.
Okay. I honestly have no idea. It's foggy to me. I don't actually know when. Okay, so he says 1 year after Endor. So I guess that would be what, 5? 4? I don't remember the times. This is not. Listen, I majored in music, and the music history was my worst course. I tried to learn. They were like, memorize composer dates, and they would just fly out of my brain. They don't like. I can retain fantasy football stats like no one's business, but I cannot remember dates. So this is bad for me. I'm gonna guess 4 BBY. That's my guess.
Okay, 4 ABY, not BBY.
ABY. All right, he says 4.
It's actually 5.
Oh, 5 ABY. So close. Heartbreaker.
Endor took place at 4 ABY.
Okay, so he was right. 1 year after Endor. So that was good. Ugh. Historian details. You know who would know that? It's Neil. Neil probably studied. Although I guess they didn't study the actual history of the galaxy. They didn't even know what was going on out there. So never mind.
No.
Yeah,
I would say they don't know what's going on. They don't know what happened.
No, it's the barrier. All right, so that is our hour, and that is our show. We hope you enjoy what we're doing here. We know Star Wars fandom and comment sections can sometimes get dark and toxic, but remember, it does not have to be that way. We are trying to bring fun and positivity to the Star Wars side of the internet. Remember, there are more of us. Again, if you have anything for us, questions, requests, suggestions for segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. We got a topic to talk about next week. Thank you for that, Imperial activity. We will talk about fan expectations and maybe some toxicity next week, and how that impacts things and the discourse, the zeitgeist, if you will. But join us again next week You love Star Wars. I do too. Hell yeah. That's why we're here. It's just so good. Look at this. It's a laser sword. It's just so look at it. It just makes me happy. But yeah, join us next week. I will try and make sure we can post our video. We can record our video sometime before Wednesday, and we'll try and post it sometime like Wednesday morning or something like that. It'll just be a longer version of this, but not live. So when you see it, go not live. Please do comment, but we will not see it because we will have already recorded the episode. So we will see you next week. What'd you say?
I was like, we'll look at them later, and then we'll respond to whatever we could the next time we're available.
Yeah, or we'll just comment with
comment on them.
Yeah, because we've definitely been going over YouTube comments very, very, very attentively. But we will do that. Glory to the Empire. Agreed. So anyway, that's our show. See you next week in a non-live format. So I'm gonna do it right this time, and I'm gonna click the thing after I say the other thing. So may the Force be with you.